Hey everyone, Mr. Then here, Millennial Business and Finance Coach. I'm here to talk to you today about something that you all may be interested in, something that will blow your mind, something that may change your lives. So go ahead and stay tuned so that you can go ahead and figure out what that is. So, some of you may be wanting to go ahead and buy a car, to finance a home, to improve your financial livelihood, but most of that has to do with credit here in the United States. So it can be a little difficult if you've gone ahead and damaged it somehow. One of the things that unfortunately they don't do in school is teach you about credit. So I'm here to inform you guys on what credit is, what your credit score and your credit report is, how you can go ahead and improve your credit and or fix it. So how do you get started? Well, the first thing you might want to do is actually go ahead and go to annualcreditreport.com. It's a website that allows you to pull your credit report from Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, which are the three major credit bureaus. Now, you might be wondering why it's called annualcreditreport.com, and as soon as you go to the website, it says that you can get your credit report once per week now. Well, initially, it started off as something that you could only get your credit report once per year for free from all three bureaus. But after COVID, things changed, and now I guess they've decided that because most people, if not all people, at least 8 out of every 10 people has an error in their credit report, believe it or not. So this is something that they've gone ahead and made adjustments for, and something that you as an individual have the right to go ahead and make sure that the information on your credit report is accurate. Because if you don't have accurate information on your credit report, then essentially you can pay a lot more for things than you necessarily have to. So, if you have a 550 credit score and really you should have a 700 credit score, you can imagine how much money you're paying in interest. These credit scores weren't designed to benefit the consumer. That's why the United States and its government came up with things such as the Fair Credit Reporting Act and protection bureaus such as the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And these particular locations and entities exist to make sure that you are being treated well as a borrower. Unfortunately, when your credit score drops, the credit furnishers or the companies that let you borrow money can increase your interest. They can make you pay more for things than you might have been paying previously. So you want to go ahead and understand initially, at least, what your credit report is. What your credit report is essentially, let's think of it as like your report card. It's a mixture of things. It's your birth, your name, your address, where you've worked, what accounts you have open, what types of accounts you have open, your payment history on all of those accounts. So it's like a report card as such. And essentially what happens once you have all of that information, all of the information from your credit report is put together into what's called your credit score. And your credit score can be weighed differently by different entities. So Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion partnered together to create something that's called your VantageScore. And your VantageScore is something that you'll see typically on like Credit Karma and most credit monitoring websites. Now, your FICO score is what's used by at least 80% of the, not necessarily anything that stands anything like in the financial industry. Like, it's not like financial institution company or something like that. It stands for Fair and Isaac Corporation. This guy named Fair, this guy named Isaac created basically a formula to figure out whether or not people were going to pay back. 35% of it goes towards payment history. 30% of it goes towards utilization, 15% of it goes towards credit age, 10% inquiries, and that last 10% goes towards different types of accounts. So, basically like whether you have an installment loan or a revolving line of credit or open line of credit, things of that nature. They have different names for these things and things that, you can go ahead and schedule a free credit analysis with me so that we can go over and discuss these things in further detail. You can pick whichever credit monitoring website you'd like. I will go ahead and list a few in the comments below so that you can go ahead and have some references. I'll go ahead and also include some information and some resources for you so that you can go ahead and improve your credit. Of course, you can go ahead and dispute some of these things on your credit report that are inaccurate, and doing so will help you improve your credit. If you have an account there that is inaccurately reporting that you owe them $1,000, and you dispute this account and it gets removed from your credit report, well, that's a lot like, going ahead and having a criminal record, for instance, and them saying that you stole $1,000, because essentially that's basically what they're doing. And then you getting that expunged. It's no longer on your record, no longer on your credit report in this case. And in this case, it would help boost your score. Different things have different weighings, but if you find the information that I gave you here today useful and you want to learn more, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe. I'm here for you. I'm here to help you. One of the things that bothers me and that got me started in helping people with credit is that there's a lot of these companies that will go ahead and they'll write this particular debt off, so they get a tax break on me, and they're still chasing you for the full balance. They go ahead and hire these collection companies or sell the debt worse to these collection companies for a fraction of what it's worth. Let's say, for example, you owe $1,000 and you sell it for $100, and boom, next thing you know, they get you for the whole $1,000. That company just made $900 off of you. It's very cruel and unusual things that exist in this world, and fraud exists. What if that wasn't even your debt? There's a lot of things that come into play, and I like to say that cash is king, and credit is queen. And in the game of chess, obviously with the king you can move a particular amount across the board, but the rules of the game require you to protect that king, to not lose that king. The queen, however, can make a lot more moves on that board, move through a lot more squares and pieces, and it can help you win that game a lot faster. It can help you capture that other person's king, which is the essence and the rules of the game. So you have to protect your king, protect that cash, and even if you lose that queen, as long as you have other pawns, as long as you have other methods of moving around, you can always get that queen back. So Mr. Then here, Millennial Business and Finance Coach, tuning out. Appreciate you guys taking the time to listen. Like I said, comment, subscribe, and if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them below.